Chapter 71. Prince of Ice Knight. Jean de Bayo and Qin Yuhu turned around at the same time, looking at the source of the sound. The crowd dispersed automatically, and a young man in a fancy dress walked over calmly. A young man in Chinese clothes, about 14 or 15 years old, with a handsome appearance and a tall and straight figure, but his temperament is gloomy and cold, and his eyes are piercing, giving off a gloomy look that does not match his age. His name is Lan Binji, the youngest son of Emperor Lanyan, the prince of the Lanyan Empire. Although he is not the crown prince, he is considered by the outside world as one of the strongest contenders for the throne. Prince Bingyi. Lan Binji walked over, Jean de Bayo and Qin Yuhu hurriedly bowed and saluted, and the people around also bowed and bowed, showing awe. Nye Tian, on the other hand, was like a block of ice and didn't move at all. He just glanced at Lan Binji flatly, and there was no other reaction. Lan Binji was not angry, but looked at Nye Tian, smiled slightly, and said, "The person who can make Master Zhang Yifeng an apprentice is different." Nye Tian's name has spread all over the imperial city recently, so it's not surprising that Lan Binji knows him. "You are also very different." Nye Tian responded lightly. Even though he only glanced at Lan Binji, Nye Tian could tell that this person had a dark personality and was not an easy person, so it was best not to provoke him. Moreover, Nye Tian sensed that Lan Binji's strength was very strong, and he was actually at the first level of Vientiane. A 14-year-old Vientiane warrior with martial arts talent can be called a monster. But compared with Nye Tian, this kind of talent is insignificant. In his previous life, Nye Tian, at the age of 14, was already a martial artist at the Divine Will Realm, and his talent surpassed that of Lan Binji. Jean de Bayo was afraid that Nye Tian would anger Lan Binji, so he hurried forward and said, "Your Highness Bingyi, do you want to be our witness?" Lan Binji glanced at Jean de Bayo. "You are not joking." "June?" Jean de Bayo paused in his heart, and said speechlessly, "It seems that you are not a gentleman." The simple word June revealed Lan Binji's ambition. Qin Yuhu stole a glance at Lan Binji, as if confirming something, then smiled darkly, and bowed deeply to Lan Binji. "His Highness Bingyi is personally a witness for the little one, and the little one is sincere and terrified." Jean de Bayo rolled his eyes as he watched from the side. He only knew that Qin Yuhu's character was poor, but he didn't know that his flattering skills were so first-rate. Lan Binji waved her hand casually and said, "His Highness has already heard the bet between you two. If the two of you have no objections, this witness, His Highness, will be reluctant." "How?" "His Highness Bingyi, I have no objection." Qin Yu said hastily. "I have no objection either." Jean de Bayo nodded. With Lan Binji as a witness and so many onlookers, Qin Yuhu dare not regret it. "Okay." The corners of Lan Binji's mouth raised, and her voice suddenly raised. She said loudly, "This prince announces that the bet between Qin Yuhu and Jean de Bayo will take effect immediately. No matter what the result is, both parties must not go back on their word." "Okay." The onlookers booed and applauded in unison. Jean de Bayo looked at Nye Tian, very happy. He was very confident. He once saw Nye Tian kill the saber-toothed black leopard with one move, and Nye Tian also defeated Qin Yuhu. With such strength, how can Qin Feng, Liang Yunlong, and Ling Tian be compared? But at this moment, Jin Ming was about to cry and nearly collapsed. "You two, play slowly. The prince still has something to do, so let's take a step first." With a faint smile, Lan Binji turned and left, and the crowd automatically moved out of the way. "Your Highness, I'll be with you." Qin Yu laughed and followed quickly. Before leaving, he did not forget to give Jean de Bayo a mocking smile. "What are you proud of? Do you think you can win?" Jean de Bayo scolded angrily, then looked at Nye Tian, and said, "Boss, this time it's up to you. I must help my brother take out the Qin family's tier 4 battle armor." "Win it." I will try my best. Nie Tien nodded lightly. If there were only a few guys from the 9th level of Yuanling among the freshmen this time, Nie Tien would have a 100% chance of winning. But he always felt that Qin Yuhu would not be so stupid, and there seemed to be some conspiracy. Slowly, the crowd dispersed, but Jin Ming suddenly burst into tears and shouted, "Young Master Jin!" Jean DeBeo was taken aback and said angrily, "What is this for? Were you crying?" With a bitter expression on his face, Jin Ming suddenly said in a low voice, "Young Master Jin, I still have one piece of news that I haven't told you." "What news?" Jean DeBeo's face darkened, feeling a little uneasy. Jin Ming looked around and saw that there was no one around, so he swallowed, and then said, "The Academy's Rookie King this time has already been appointed." "Determined as the Rookie King?" Jean DeBeo was stunned, with a suspicious expression on his face. "Impossible. Every year, Baiyun Academy sets a lot of admission places by default, but there has never been a Rookie King by default. After all, the Rookie King was born during the new martial arts, so could it be possible to control the results of the martial arts?" Jean DeBeo's first reaction was impossible. Internal decision? Chiu Ling was also very skeptical, and asked cautiously, "Then who is the new king?" Jin Ming's face froze, and it took him a long time to say a name, "Prince Bingyi." "Prince of the Ice Knight!" Jean DeBeo screamed, almost jumping up. "How can that be? Lan Bingyi is the prince, so there is no need for such an identity to participate in the recruitment, let alone the little reward from the Rookie King." Jean DeBeo was the first to not believe that Lan Bingyi would be the Rookie King. But at the next moment, he suddenly thought of something, and yelled strangely, "Why did Prince Bingyi appear here?" Jin Ming had a mournful face, and his whole body collapsed. "Prince Bingyi is here to watch the freshman test." Jean DeBeo froze immediately. He was in a daze, unable to say a word for a long time. "Let's make a big joke." After a while, Jean DeBeo slapped his thigh and was about to cry. He finally understood why Qin Yuhu took the initiative to bet with him, and why Lan Bingyi took the initiative to stand up as a witness. All of this is a conspiracy. Naked conspiracy. Yupinju is the symbol of the Jin family. Without Yupinju, would the Jin family still be the richest man in the imperial city? After half a day, Jean DeBeo finally calmed down. Jin Ming looked distressed and explained, "I don't know why Prince Bingyi wants to participate in Baiyun's recruitment. I just found out about this news not long ago. I originally wanted to tell young Master Jin as a surprise." "Who knows? Surprise your sister." Jean DeBeo was speechless. "This time I was really surprised, so surprised that I wanted to cry without tears. Lan Bingyi participated in the freshman selection. Who would dare to steal his limelight? As long as he appears in the freshman selection, he will be the Rookie King. There is almost no need for internal determination, and no one dares to fight against him. To defeat Lan Bingyi is to slap the royal family in the face. Who would dare? Who dares?" This question appeared in Jean DeBeo's mind, and an answer suddenly appeared, "Nie Tien dare." DeBeo. At this time, Nie Tien, who hadn't reacted much, finally opened his mouth and patted Jean DeBeo's shoulder. "Don't worry. The Rookie King, I'm sure." The sound was not loud, but it was like a thunderbolt, which completely woke Jean DeBeo up. "Who is Nie Tien?" "Crazy man. When he was in the Alchemist Guild, even Zhang Yifeng had to kneel to worship his master, so what if he slapped the royal family in the face? There is no doubt that no one can stop Nie Tien. In front of Nie Tien, the appointment of the Rookie King is untenable."